In West Africa, voters in Liberia are selecting a new president on Tuesday. 20 candidates are seeking to replace President Ellen Johnson Sirleaf, Africa's first modern female head of state, with no candidate expected to gain a clear majority in the first round. The top two vote-getters will face off in a runoff vote in about a month. Johnson Sirleaf addressed the nation on Monday, urging everyone to have a peaceful day at the polls. She said it would be the first time in 3 generations Liberians will be transferring presidential authority democratically and peacefully.
Remember that you are an empowered people. The future of the country is in your hands. No one is entitled to your vote, not because of party, ethnicity, religion, or tribal affiliation. Your loyalty is to your family, your children, and your children's children, and their children. Vote for the person and persons you believe will make Liberia a better place.
Well, among the frontrunners seen as likely to win a place in the runoff are Vice President Joseph Nyuma Boakai, representing the ruling Unity Party, and football star George Weah, who lost to Johnson Sirleaf in 2005. We're standing by via phone in Monrovia, Liberia, is reporter Monique John. Monique, good evening.
Hello.
Now, first, let's start by just help us understand how was the process from when the polls opened this morning?
Well, there's actually already been reports of some poll centers not having been opened or being opened late as a result of what they claim failing to receive polling materials from the NEC. There was a press conference a few minutes ago held by the National Elections Commission here in the country, announcing that those polling centers that were delayed will extend their hours, however, so that voters that weren't able to cast their votes as early as everyone else was, as early as 8 or 9 o'clock in the morning, will still have more time in the evening to cast their votes.
And Vio, we ask you, bear with us, the line is really bad. Very quickly, how has been the turnout?
Well, the turnout has been pretty strong. I mean, even at the polling center I was at this morning, it was quite full, lots of bustling energy, lots of positivity and excitement, and I think in a way nervous energy, given the fact that there's been so much conversation about whether or not there'll be violence this season. For the most part, it looks as though the environment, especially in Monrovia, has been fairly calm and peaceful. There was one report of alleged tear gassing by apparently a police officer at one polling center just outside of Monrovia or near the Douala market area. But yeah, the turnout has been pretty strong. People still seem to have really come out and are still passionate about expressing their vote at the polls.
And what do we know about the results? How soon can we get an idea who's winning or where things stand?
Well, I'm not too sure on that yet. The expectation for everyone is for the results to be released by the NEC by the 25th. However, we know that there might very well still be a runoff. So that still remains to be seen. And I think considering that some of the polling centers have already had problems even just opening today, I wouldn't be surprised if there were some sort of delay in pulling the results together. But I think that's something we'll have to stand by and watch closely.
And if there's one thing that you could mention that the people really want from whoever becomes president, what is it?
A big issue that people, especially the women that I've spoken to, really want for the next president to handle is education. And occasionally people mention youth empowerment in conjunction with that. They really feel that the fact that the education system here is so poor and that it's a largely youthful population, but you have so many young people that aren't being adequately educated or are earning degrees that are essentially useless and aren't allowing them opportunities to work because either their education, on one hand, their education isn't sufficient, but on the other hand, there aren't enough opportunities to employ them as well. Again, you have just a large population of young people here that aren't really able to have the kind of education and economic employment opportunities to really move them ahead. And then in conjunction with that, healthcare is often an issue that's brought up as well, obviously given the fact that the healthcare system here in Liberia, even before the Ebola crisis, was poor. That only was weakened even more. That was even further devastated as a result of the Ebola crisis. So education, healthcare are really major items. And people still talk about instilling peace as well.
All right. Monique, thank you very much. That's Monique John.
Thank you.
Thank you. Monique John reporting live by phone from Monrovia in Liberia.